Microsoft just dropped another Windows 11 27H2 inside of UB build 29585 to the latest experimental future platform formerly known as Canary Channel. But honestly, this feels less like a normal Windows 11 update and more like the early foundation of Windows 11 27H2 or maybe Windows 12. We're talking about massive printer driver changes, a redesigned run dialog, AI-focused taskbar experiments, smoother voice typing, and deep optimization for Snapdragon X Elite and future ARM PCs. And the biggest part? Microsoft has now created a brand new experimental future platform brand specially for next generation Windows development. So in this video, I'll explain what build number 29585 really changes, why this matters for future Windows PCs, and why Microsoft may finally be preparing Windows for the post-Intel era. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Sudama Lab, where we explain tech things that actually matters. Now, this is not a normal Canary or day build. This branch is specially designed for future platform testing, internally connected to the 27H2 development cycle. And yes, this is the same branch many insiders believe is laying the groundwork for what people actually call Windows 12. But unlike flashy features updates, this build focuses on something much more important, the plumbing future of Windows. And honestly, some of the changes are much bigger than they look. Let's start with the most important technical change in this build. Microsoft updated hardware IDs for Microsoft IPP printer driver, technically called PRNMS012. Now, if that sounds boring, trust me, it's actually a huge deal. For years, Windows printers have depended on bloated third-party drivers and terrible printer software suites. You buy a printer and then install 2 gigs of garbage utilities, background services, telemetry apps, startup process, and random update tools you never asked for. Microsoft wants to end that. Starting around July 2026, Windows plans to officially prioritize its built-in IPP printing stack over all the third-party M3 drivers. That means cleaner installation, fewer compatibility issues, less broken printing, no more Apple printer bloatware. This build is basically preparing Windows for that transition. And honestly, this kit became one of the best hidden improvements Windows has ever made in years. But printers on Windows have been a disaster for decades. Microsoft also redesigned the voice typing experience on the touch keyboard. Previously, when you activated dictation, Windows would throw a giant overlay on a screen. It interrupted typing, covered content, and honestly felt outdated. Now in build number 29585, Microsoft replaced the entire experience with inline animations directly on the dictation button. And this actually matters more than you think, because Microsoft is clearly pushing Windows towards AI inputs, voice interactions, copilot workflows, and touch-first computing on ARM devices. The experience now feels smoother, cleaner, and far less distracting. Small UI change, but huge usability improvements. Now let's talk about something Windows users have wanted for years. The new run dialog finally being modernized. Yes, the classic Win plus R window, Microsoft rebuilt using WinUI 3 with the Windows 11 Mecha design language. So now it has translucent effect, smoother animation, a modern redesign, and significantly faster launch performance. According to internal testing, the new run dialog appears in roughly 94 milliseconds. That sounds tiny, but it actually makes Windows feel noticeably snappier. And this is important because Microsoft is slowly replacing old legacy Windows components one by one. The run dialog may seem minor, but it represents a much bigger shift towards fully modern Windows UI architecture. Now here is where things start getting very interesting. Microsoft is testing a brand new feature called Drop Tray. This appears to replace the older drag tray behavior in Windows, but the real purpose is much bigger. The drop tray is designed to make moving files between AI agents and traditional apps easier directly from the taskbar. Think about that carefully. Microsoft is preparing Windows for a future where AI tools, AI workflows, and local agents become deeply integrated into everyday desktop usage. Instead of simply dragging files between folders, you may eventually drag files directly into AI-powered workflows. This is one of the clearest signs yet Microsoft sees AI as a core operating system layer, not just an app. And whether people like it or not, Windows is rapidly becoming an AI-first platform. Another major focus of build number 29585 is ARM optimization. The experimental branch is heavily targeting Snapdragon X Plus, Snapdragon X Elite, and the upcoming Snapdragon X Extreme hardware. Microsoft is reportedly testing a new low-latency CPU boost profile for AI-heavy workloads. In simple terms, Windows may soon allow users to manually prioritize ultra-fast CPU responsiveness for AI processing tasks that could improve local AI models, voice processing, image generation, live translation, and Copilot-style experience. And honestly, this confirms what many people suspected. Microsoft's future Windows strategy is now heavily centered around ARM processors and dedicated AI hardware. Intel and AMD are still important, but Qualcomm-powered AI PCs are clearly becoming a major priority for Microsoft. Now, before anybody installs this build, you need to understand something is important. This is not a stable insider build. Microsoft recently simplified the insider program, and this is the new experimental future platform branch. Is now the most advanced testing tier available, meaning features can disappear, bugs can break core functionality, performance may fluctuate, and entire systems may change overnight. This branch exists especially to test future platform architecture before features ever reach beta or release preview. So if you install this, expect instability. But for the enthusiasts, this is probably the coolest look we currently have at Microsoft's long-term Windows roadmap. One genuine nice improvement. Microsoft is now releasing ISO files for these experimental builds much faster. That means users can finally do clean installation instead of relying entirely on Windows Update flights. And honestly, this makes testing way easier for power users and creators, especially if you run secondary SSDs, test partitions, or ARM development hardware. So overall, Windows 11 29585 may not look exciting on the surface, but this could actually become one of the most important insider builds of 2026, because this update reveals where Microsoft is really hitting: modernized Windows components, AI-integrated workflows, ARM-first optimization, cleaner driver architecture, and future platform experimentation. This isn't just another Windows 11 update anymore. Microsoft is quietly rebuilding Windows from the inside and out. And honestly, the next 2 years of Windows development could completely redefine how PCs work. But now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Microsoft's AI-first Windows strategy is future? Or is Windows becoming unnecessarily complicated? And would you actually switch to an ARM-powered Windows PC? Comment below. If you enjoyed the deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe to Sudama Lab, and turn notifications on. And as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.